Hello and a very warm welcome to the online briefing for the SWISSMAN 2024.
My name is Katrin. I'm responsible for communication.
My name is Dominik. I'm responsible for the running, and we're going to see us at least at Grund.
And my name is Sampo, and I'm responsible for marketing, and I will be following you together with my film and photography crew along the way up to Kleine Scheidegg.
And the three of us are very happy to guide you through this online briefing. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us on mail@suix3.com, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions.
First of all, we are very excited and honored to be able to announce that we have the privilege to have a performance by the Swiss Parawings as part of our 10-year anniversary. The Swiss Parawings is the parachute demo team of the Swiss Army, and they will give a spectacular performance in the air at Kleine Scheidegg on Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. Around the same time, we expect the first athlete at the finish line. So we kindly invite all spectators, friends and family members to join us for this special moment. To be on time for the show, we recommend to take the 3:53 train in Grindelwald-Grund.
So the new check-in times are Thursday between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. and Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
For the official start of the SWISSMAN, we will offer you a real Ticino risotto on Friday at 3 p.m. in the Bagno Pubblico, and also do a short briefing with the most important information for your SWISSMAN Day. If you would like us to transport some dry and warm clothes for you to the finish line, you have the opportunity to bring us your SWISSMAN bags, one for supporter and one for the athletes, between 4 and 5 p.m. on Friday to the Bagno Pubblico.
So let's start with guiding you through your SWISSMAN Day. The transition zone can be set up by the athlete or the supporter or both together in the morning between 3 and 4 a.m. After 4, the supporters are still allowed to go in and out of the transition zone for any final preparations, but you cannot bring in or take out any bikes. Important for the supporters, please don't forget to wear the supporter badge when you want to enter the transition zones. If there is more than one person in an athlete's support team, anyone can wear the badge and enter the transition zones, but only supporters with a badge are allowed to enter.
Then, with regards to tracking, we have two types of devices. On the one hand, the race result chip, which is an additional safety measure for our crew, and each athlete will be equipped with this chip and it has to be worn during the entire day, including the swimming. And on the other hand side, the GPS tracker, which you do not take with you for the swim, but deposit it in the transition zone on your bike in a way that is clearly visible for our crew, so trackers that would not be working can be exchanged before you leave on the bike.
When you take your tracker home, we kindly ask you that overnight you leave the tracker in a position where it most probably has GPS coverage. This is to save battery life. Also, during the bike course, it's not allowed to switch bikes. The bike mark you have received in the check-in envelope should be placed around the seat post like this.
Then, on Saturday morning for T1, there are 2 parking areas around T1 which you can use for the support cars in the morning.
After preparing the transition zone, it's about a 15 minutes walk to the boat registration. If you need any clothes or shoes to walk to the boat, your supporter can take them afterwards, because on the boat you cannot take any clothes or shoes. You enter the boat only in your wetsuit. The registration for the boat is open from 3:30 until latest 4 a.m. So please come to the registration early enough. When you have registered for the boat and we have checked you on our list, you need to stay in the boat zone. But there are toilets and nice company of other athletes, so it's no problem to be there before 4 a.m.
You all receive an inflatable swim buoy for the swim course, and it is mandatory for all athletes to carry the safety buoy with them on the swim course. You must inflate the buoy before the use and should do this before you enter the boat.
Then at 4:15 the boat is leaving Ascona towards the Brissago Island. Brissago, you will leave the boat and enter the water. There is not much time between the arrival of the boat and the start, so we kindly ask you to go directly to the starting line formed by the kayaks.
Then, at 5 a.m., you will hear the cowbells, which give you the start signal to this year's SWISSMAN Xtreme Triathlon.
And all you have to do is swim towards the yellow light in Ascona.
In addition, for your orientation, you have 2 boats with lights. A smaller one, which will be at the very front and accompany the first athletes, and the bigger sailboat, which will follow along the course with the biggest group and place itself somewhere around the middle of the lake. Several motorboats and kayaks will form a channel on both sides of the swimmers, so please note that the motorboats and the kayaks are not to be used for your orientation. If you are close to a motorboat or a kayak, it rather means that you are at the side of the swim line and should consider your orientation and maybe correct your direction.
The cutoff for the swim is at 7:15. Then you're on the bike on your way towards the mountains, and Sampo will tell you what's important for you to know about the bike course.
And I would like to start with some very important rules for the athletes. Number 1, you have to obey the traffic rules. Number 2, it's not allowed to draft. And number 3, it's not allowed to switch bikes. You all know the rules of triathlon very well. So please be fair and stick to the rules. If you don't, SWISSMAN won't work. There are a few construction sites along the way, so when the traffic light is red, you have to stop. Take it easy, eat something, drink something, enjoy the beautiful landscape, and only continue when the light turns green. Rules for the supporters. Never drive directly behind or in front of an athlete. Any athlete. Please pass them. Never support out of the car, and please stick to the indicated meeting areas, meeting points in the road book.
Also already indicated in the road book is this new and very important rule regarding Furka Pass. It is absolutely forbidden to stop or support anywhere on the climb to Furka Pass. Between Realp and Furka Pass, supporters cannot stop even if there appears to be space to park a car. Please do not do it, it is not allowed. This new rule has been mandated by the authorities. Security personnel and police will be present to monitor compliance. Anyone who does not follow this rule will be disqualified immediately. And disqualification means we may not receive a permit in the future to organize SWISSMAN. To make things easier, there's a supporter checkpoint at Realp. Anyone arriving there after 11:30 am must wait until their athlete has passed the Gallenstock curve, which is indicated here. Security personnel will inform you once your athlete has passed Gallenstock, and then you are allowed to proceed and drive directly up to Furka Pass. Thank you for adhering to this new rule and contributing to the future success of SWISSMAN.
When you are at a supporting area, a supporting point, please clean up before leaving. This goes without saying, but we want to highlight those rules again specifically. Clean up before leaving. No littering. Also, please use toilets. There are toilets in Motto Bartola, at Grimsel, and in Brienz. Using the supporting area or the road as a toilet is an absolute no-go. If you need a toilet somewhere else along the way, you can go to a restaurant and ask kindly if it's okay. In Switzerland, it's an unwritten rule that you pay a minimal fee or you buy something small in a restaurant for using the toilet. After T1, we recommend the supporters to take the highway and drive directly to Biasca, as shown here. This is to avoid a lot of traffic on the first part of the bike, and usually your athlete doesn't need support on the first 50 kilometers. If the weather is good, if it's a sunny day, we expect a lot of traffic, motorbikes, cars on the course. Therefore, it is absolutely forbidden for supporters to stop on the climbs to Furka and also on the climb to Grimsel for supporting. The road is just too narrow and it's very dangerous if you stop there. So please stick to the supporting areas indicated in the road book. Further rules for the supporters. On the downhills, give always the right of way to the athletes. And only one support car is allowed per athlete, and it needs to be marked with 2 stickers. They look like this, and you receive them with your check-in. Please put one on the front window on the right hand side, not to block the driver's view, and the other one on the back side of the car. And please write your bib number on the sticker. Then navigation. The route will be marked with the SWISSMAN signs. You should be able to find your way if you follow the signs and stay focused. It remains your responsibility, the athletes and the supporters' responsibility to find the right way. At the very tricky turnoffs, we have a couple of them. We have those bigger, beautiful signs waiting for you and helping you. Whenever you see one of those signs, please be extra careful. So let's look at a few important points along the bike course, also a few that have changed to previous years. Let's start in Ascona. So shortly after the transition zone, you're passing the river on a bridge. It's no longer allowed to take the big bridge that's reserved for the bus. Instead, you have to turn right and take the smaller bridge, the new one, as indicated here. The next change is in Biasca. There, the road crossing the highway is closed due to construction, so you need to turn right, as indicated here, and pass through the village of Biasca. There are 2 or 3 roundabouts, and soon you will be back on the original bike course. The next important point I want to talk about is the entry to the Gotthard Pass. After you've passed the village of Airolo, athletes turn right and enter the old historical road up to Gotthard Pass, whereas the supporters remain on the main road up to Gotthard Pass. The same happens in Mattopartala, that's the supporting area. After that one, supporters remain on the main road, whereas the athletes enter the old historical cobblestone road Tremola. We will be there and make sure that no support cars enter the Tremola, and this is why. The next important turn is when you're down from Gotthard Pass in Hostental. There's a roundabout. Please take the exit to Furka. It's marked with one of the bigger signs. If you miss that one, you're down in the wrong valley very, very fast. Cutoff time at Furka is 3 p.m. Another one you really don't want to miss is in Glech. That's when you're down from Furka Pass. You need to turn right, also as indicated here with the big sign. So if you're not immediately climbing again after you're down from Furka, you really need to reconsider your location and also check your navigation skills. But we're always happy to receive a postcard from Lake Geneva or from the Matterhorn. Now, and this is important, on the way down from Grimsel, there are several tunnels. Please ride very carefully, and also please turn on your lights. Also, there are a few ground waves directly after the tunnels, so it's absolutely forbidden riding in the arrow position. Please ride very carefully on those downhills. It's just not worth risking anything. If you want to go fast in the uphills, that's where you make the difference. For supporters, after you pass Grimsel Pass, we recommend you go directly to Brienz T2 and wait there for your athlete. Cut-off time in Brienz is 6:15 p.m. And in Brienz is where the last part of SWISSMAN starts, the running. Dominik.
The route is mainly marked with this band and in addition with some signs. After a 2.5 k very steep uphill, you reach the Giesbach waterfalls, which are beautiful. For all the supporters, please do not drive up there. There isn't enough space for all the cars. In general, it isn't allowed for the supporters to stick on the running course. Please meet your athlete at the supporter areas marked in the road book. We highly recommend for all the spectators to meet athletes in Wilderswil because there is a huge parking space. It isn't possible to meet your athlete at each supporting point. Athletes will be just too fast. So please make sure you have enough to drink, enough to eat with you. At the checkpoint in Grindelwald, we're gonna meet again. This is where you need your backpack. Please make sure you have all the things you need in your backpack. There is a list in your road book. Supporters who arrive before the athletes can get their backpack checked before. In Grindelwald Grund, we have a new situation to park. Please park at the terminal of the Eiger Express. You can also leave your car there overnight. From the parking, it takes you about 15 minutes to walk to the railway station. There, you get the train who brings you up to the Kleine Schadeck. Don't take the Eiger Express. Cut-off time in Grindelwald is 10 o'clock. For all the athletes who arrive after 10 o'clock in Grindelwald, the SWISSMAN stops there. The way up to the Kleine Schadeck is extreme. So for all supporters who are afraid of running up the last 10 Ks, you don't have to be. Athletes will be happy to walk up with you. On the way up, you will also pass some fences. To not get in trouble with the farmers, make sure you close them after passing. And then, after an amazing journey through beautiful Switzerland, you're going to cross the finish line at Kleine Schadeck. Together with your supporter, your partner, your kids, your grandfather and grandmother. We really don't care, but not alone. Important. When you cross the finish line, please return your tracker. Otherwise, we're gonna track you back to Australia or wherever you live. And no worries, we're gonna find you.
After arriving at the finish line, you have the option of eating spaghetti with various sauces and Alper macaroni at the Eiger Nordland restaurant, which is next to the finish line. You also get something to drink at a cost of 20 francs. It's a good opportunity to meet other athletes and supporters and exchange about your Swissman Day. To get up by train to Kleine Schadeck, you will receive an athlete and a supporter wristband with the check-in on Friday. Also, in addition, you can have up to 3 additional wristbands for spectators. More wristbands for spectators you can get at the checkpoint in Grindelwald on Saturday. Also, spectators can pick them up themselves. So these wristbands for athlete and supporter are valid for the Jungfrau Railway on Saturday and Sunday to get up to Kleine Schadeck with the train. The wristbands must be worn on the wrist. The train ride from Grindelwald Grund to Kleine Schadeck takes 24 minutes. And for guests, the wristband is valid on Saturday only. It's not valid on Sunday. Guests with a wristband on their wrist can buy tickets at a reduced price at the Grindelwald Grund ticket office on Sunday morning. Without a guest wristband, they pay the full price.
We really don't hope, but in case there is a thunderstorm on Saturday morning during the swim, there is a swim alternative, which is a 6-kilometer run. It's 2 laps around the golf course in Ascona. There are also some important rules in case of thunderstorms. Most important, don't risk anything. You just stop and wait until the thunderstorm is over if it's a heavy one. And in case of thunderstorm, you're also allowed to seek shelter in the car. So you can sit in the support car and wait until it's over. Very important again, please just don't risk anything. Stay safe, wait, and then continue. There are 3 important phone numbers. If you need any medical support, please call the medical team. If you have a medical emergency, please call the Rega at 1414. And if you have any question or problem, or if you decide to quit the SWISSMAN and stop, please call the helpline. I will pick up the phone and try to help you.
For a perfect preparation, we kindly ask you to download the last version of the road book and study it carefully together with your supporter.
On Sunday morning, after a night with probably very deep sleep, we will all come together again at Kleine Scheideck for the handover of the finisher and supporter shirts. And we will celebrate the finisher ceremony for all supporters and athletes and do the mandatory group photo at the end. This is it. We thank you very much for watching the online briefing. As said, if there are any questions, don't hesitate to email us. And we are very much looking forward to meet you very soon in Ascona.
See you in Ascona. Goodbye.